Hello guys, Aspen here. I'm out testing my Action 2 with the latest firmware. Finally DJI launched a firmware update with HorizonBalancing, as they call it, and that means that you can tilt the camera in 45 degrees without the horizon shifting. So that's an excellent update for this camera. We've been waiting a long time for it, and it looks pretty good what I've seen so far. You have the same function in the GoPro Hero 10. The only difference with GoPro that you can shoot in higher resolutions. But I think the horizon balancing on the Action 2 can be a game changer for this camera. We're not going to do any comparison between the GoPro today. I just want to test the newest firmware on the Action 2. And that means that you can tilt the camera without the horizon shifting. So that's excellent. The only thing you can't change in this mode is the field of view, but it's pretty wide. We also got a new steady mode, which means that the image is cropped a little bit more, and you don't have the same distortion in the image. In steady mode you can change the field of view up to ultra wide, so that's excellent. We get a pretty good field of view without all the distortion in the image, and that means that people that have been watching DJI Action 2 footage before don't get seasick. So it's supposed to be much better. So I'm shooting over here with HorizonBalancing, as DJI called it, in 4K 60. I'm walking in the path in the woods. It's pretty bad lighting today. It's all white, so you can't see any punchy colors. That's just the way it is. We're gonna switch now to steady mode first and see how that looks. Maybe we should test the widest field of view first. We are walking in a path here with a bunch of trees, so maybe you can see if there are any distortion in the image. Let's do that. I'm now switched to steady mode. It's supposed to do something with the image, not that distorted. We are shooting with the widest lens, ultra wide. So how does the trees look? Can you see much bending? I'm usually not shooting in ultra wide. I think it's too wide, but maybe in steady mode it will work, and the stabilization should be as good as normal. Let's see. So we're gonna switch now to wide. You can see if you see any major difference in the distortion, especially with the trees and all the surroundings. So let's switch to wide. Okay guys, we are still in 4K 60 steady mode. The lens is wide now. Can you see any big difference between the ultra wide and wide? It should be, but is the distortion still there, or is it much better? I'm only using the camera module because it's raining today, so I can't use the screen module. It should be possible, but the screen and power module is not waterproof, so that's not good. So this is 4K 60 steady mode with the DJI Action 2 in wide. We're gonna switch to standard dwarp and see if it's a major difference. It should be, but it crops in quite a lot. So let's switch to standard dwarp in steady mode. Okay guys, we now switch to 4K. I'm still in 4K, but in steady mode, standard dwarp. It should look much better, but I'm pretty sure it crops in quite a lot. But maybe this is the best setting to use and not get any distortion. But just watch the other clips in steady mode with wide and ultra wide. But if wide and ultra wide is usable in steady mode, that would be great, so you can get the the big field of view, but the lens on the Action 2 is quite wide. So this is 4K 60 steady standard dwarp. Color profile is normal. ISO is set to 100 to 800. The weather is not good, so the colors aren't popping at all, but that's just the way it is. So let's switch to HorizonBalancing again, and maybe we can do a test with the GoPro Hero 10 just to see which camera tilts first. So let's do that. Okay guys, this is an interesting test. We have the DJI Action 2 and the GoPro Hero 10. I'm going to test the Horizon tilt just to see which camera tilts first. I have them mounted side by side. It should be pretty much the same, but always interested to see which camera tilt first. So let's tilt to the left slowly. Seems to me that the GoPro tilts first and then the Action 2. And that was a little bit strange. Let's do that again to the right. And let's tilt it. And again, the GoPro tilts first. That's strange. Yeah, so it's pretty strange to see that the GoPro actually tilts first, but maybe just the way it is. It has something to do with the algorithm, and it's fun to see with this firmware on the Action 2 that DJI has done a good job, I hope. I'm shooting in natural and normal colors on both cameras. Yeah guys, so what do you think about the latest update for the DJI Action 2 version 0.1, 0.2.10.10? It seems to me like they did a marvelous job, DJI. A lot of people have complained about the DJI Action 2 because of the extreme wide lens and overheating issues and stuff like that. I haven't experienced any overheating with the Action 2, but that's maybe because I live in Norway. It's a little bit colder here, and I had some issues with some flickering in the image. Gonna be fun to see how it performs today, but this is a great update, and I can tilt the camera with HorizonBalancing on and walk in nature without the horizon tilting. And I'm moving my arm back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. This is just great. Yeah guys, so I think that DJI made this update is really good. Can't wait to test it in better weather and do some proper test against the Action 2. So it's gonna be fun to see how the image quality looks like and if they have fixed some other bugs with it, but I haven't had any problems with DJI product at all. I wasn't really happy about the Action 2 in the beginning, but I knew that DJI is gonna make some improvement to the camera, and they do. They always do. Let me just I can tilt the camera pretty much, as you can see. So it's working pretty good, the HorizonBalancing. And as I said, it looks like the GoPro actually tilts first, so that's great. And you still have HorizonSteady with the Action 2 in 2.7K. Then you can turn it 360 degrees. With the GoPro you need the max lens mod to do exactly that, 360 degrees in, but you have a much wider field of view with the max lens mod. So I'm moving the camera up and down and up and down and don't care about how it looks, so I really hope it's not bouncing around, but the HorizonSteady seems to work pretty good on the Action 2. So if you enjoy this short test, I'm going to do much more testing with it in better weather, and we can see how good this update actually is. But the major thing now for me is, of course, Horizon balancing with the GoPro Hero 10. That means so much. You can shoot all the way up to 4K 60, so that's just excellent. And I can move my arm like this is just great. Well, thank you so much, DJI. This was really important update from you. So thank you so much for watching this short test with the DJI Action 2 and the newest firmware. Remember to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.